Bonjour and welcome to a new unboxing video, and today I'm very excited because I've got two boxes. I mean, they are from the same place and they're part of the same shipment, but it's two boxes all the same, and they contain one of my favorite things in the whole world. And you may have guessed, it's MEGO toys. So I do have a big MEGO mega haul. I think there's 8 figures in that, so we're going to open it and see what is coming up. I'm just not quite sure what I will do and how I will do it. First of all, the first one is actually not a new figure. It's a figure that's already been released, but what is very interesting is the creature of the Black Lagoon, as it says on the box. But you will notice one thing: it's not the same color. Basically, the first run of the creature of the Black Lagoon is completely sold out because it was very successful for MEGO. So they did a new run, and the new run has a darker color than the previous one, which is really cool for people who like variant figures like me. And of course, otherwise, I mean, it's exactly the same figure, but as you can see, the costume and the plastic is a bit darker, paint job a bit darker. So that's actually a very cool thing. If you missed the first version of the creature of the Black Lagoon, you may want to get this one. And there will be actually a black and white variant being released at some point, but that will be for later this year. Well, hopefully later this year. Now we're going to go for the new figures, and they have actually a new Planet of the Apes. Yes, I mean, Planet of the Apes is, as you all know, a very classic MEGO license, and they started doing them again. There's already 2 released, and there's 2 more. And so the first one is Caesar, and as you can see, it's got a very big gun, and it's a nice little figure. I mean, you do have a picture on the back as always. I will not be opening this one because this one is actually for a friend. I don't collect Planet of the Apes personally. I know. I'm probably one of the exceptions for MEGO collectors, but I don't do at all Planet of the Apes. But I ordered those for a friend of mine. So, and there is a second Planet of the Apes figure, which is General Ursus. Was very nice. I mean, they've updated the uniform. I mean, it's the same figure. It's the 1970s figure that's been slightly updated, but the costume is completely new. And people are saying, oh, but he doesn't have a gun. Well, okay, yeah, he doesn't have a gun, but it's a very cool figure all the same. So same thing, this one is for my friend, so I'll be careful not to damage them. And we're finishing the first of the 2 boxes, and the first of the 2 boxes ends with the Mummy. It is the Mummy from Universal Monster, and well, as always, very cool figure. You do have, I mean, the sculpt is absolutely fantastic, and you do have, of course, a picture of the Mummy, which is, because I'm not sure it's not the same Mummy, is it? But it's still very cool. It's a very nice figure. I will open those, but I just want to finish the unboxing first, and then we're going to change. I mean, we've been Universal Monsters, we've been Planet of the Apes, and now we are DC Comics with a very classic looking Joker. I mean, showing you the back as usual. So that's the very classic Joker with his big smile, and it looks really cool. And then we've got another Batman villain, because we've got the Penguin with his big nose and his hat. And no, he doesn't have an umbrella. No, because I knew that was going to be the question. I mean, it's usually the first question that comes to people's mind is, does he have an umbrella? Only because quite often he's shown with the umbrella. But no, he's got a hat, and it looks like it's a brilliant figure as well. We'll see it in more detail in a minute, and we have two last figures, which, as far as I'm concerned, are probably the two best of this shipment. The first one is Hammer, and yes, you can see, of course, this is Peter Cushing as Van Helsing, and this is the Van Helsing figure from Hammer Horror, looking really fantastic. I mean, the sculpt is absolutely brilliant, I think, and we'll discover it in more detail in a minute as well. And then we have one last bit, and which is Commander Riker. Yes, it is Commander Riker from Star Trek The Next Generation, and as you can see, it looks very good, but they seem to have changed the way they are doing the paint job on the face, because it looks a bit more realistic. So and that's about it. That's about this for the shipment. I want to show you two other things which were not in the box, and I will just show you those. Basically, you know about the 8 inches figures, but MEGO has been doing 14 inches figures, and there's quite a few already out. There's a Dracula and there's some Star Trek that I will show in another video, but the first two that are absolutely outstanding as far as I'm concerned are Frankenstein. So it is the Universal Monster Frankenstein. I'm not opening those because it's the same thing. Those are for a friend of mine, because I don't collect that scale of figure. So it's really cool. I mean, look at this sculpt. I hope you can see it well, but it's a beautiful sculpt. So those are 14 inches. They are about 30 quid or $30 in the US, and they have each a new pair of hand, an extra pair of hand, and so that's the most, I think that's the best one, along with the Creature of the Black Lagoon in 14 inches, which is actually quite, I mean, those are massive. I mean, to show you, this is a regular MEGO figure compared to this. Those are absolutely gorgeous. They are really massive, and same thing. Not for me, for a friend, so I'm not opening them, but I thought you might want to see them, have a quick look. I think they're already out in the UK. I think they're just out in the US as well. Those are really well worth it. As I said, there is a Universal Dracula as well, and there is a Gorn, a Captain Kirk, and a Spock that are out for the moment. And I think there's also 2 DC comics, which are Shazam and Black Adam, I think so. 14 inches. They had done already some 14 inches figures before that were exclusive to Target. I think you can, in the UK, you can find some of them in B&M, but this is a brand new line with completely different bodies to the previous 14 inches that they had done. But I'm sure that what you want to see now is me opening those. So we're going to start with, actually let's start with the yeah, I know you hate me for that, but I need to rip a packaging out because that's the way I do things. So I know you like your mint in package figures, but I don't. So here you go. This is the new version, and you can see it. It is really a great figure. It was already a great figure the first time around, but I think that the darker green color suits the creature a lot better. It's really a very nice figure. So it's well worth. I'm very happy to have that. That variant, and I mean, I'm actually wondering, yes, actually that's going to be interesting, because the 14 inches has the exact color of the previous version, so you can actually see the differences of color between the two. I much prefer the darker color. Maybe you would prefer the lighter color. So I know it's not the same scale, but the first 8-inch figure had exactly the same color as the 14 inches. So here you go. You can now see why I would go for this. And this is a very cool figure, but let's open the new one because they are much more interesting than re-release. So mint in package people, turn away, don't look, don't listen. I know you're suffering big time. And here is the Joker. So actually it's very interesting. I find that with MEGO figures they look fantastic in the packaging quite often, but they always look better once they are out of the bag. So here is the new version of the Joker. It's got quite a few things going on because there's like the little jacket, and then there is the vest and the shirt, the little well, cravat you could call it. It's got his really long tail coat. God, I'm forgetting my English today, it's terrible. And of course his big smile. I mean, it's really a great sculpt. It's a classic 1970s sculpt for the Joker, which is really nice. I much preferred this kind of look than the modern Joker, was a lot less fun, let's face it. So you go, and might as well open the Penguin now that we've opened the Joker. And I'm trying to do this quickly so that you don't suffer too much. But yeah, I know it's all of that goes to the recycling, and it's here you go. Here is the Penguin, who is absolutely fantastic. I mean, it's great. It's got this little costume, and this one, yeah, it feels more like a full bodysuit, but it does have some parts that are applied on the bodysuit. Of course, it's got his removable hat, and you can see how he's been losing his hair. And the hat, actually, there must be a direction for that. Yes, basically the hat actually works very well. A bit more of a jaunty angle works well, and he looks absolutely fantastic. And once again, it's very much a 1970s style Penguin, and he does have the what is called by MEGO the fat body, because of course he's never been a very muscular guy. So a very, very cool figure again, quite a classic. And then we've got probably the three more spectacular ones. Let's start with the Mummy. So here you go. Here is the Mummy, who looks absolutely fantastic with these little bits of bandages, and yeah, it's got some bandages falling off in the back. It's looking really good. I mean, this is an amazing Karloff sculpt. It looks absolutely fantastic. If you want to see, for comparison, that was the original Mummy that was released in the 1970s. So, well, of course, they didn't have the Universal license at the time. I mean, that's a Mad Monster creation by MEGO, so that they wouldn't have to pay rights. They couldn't get the rights to Universal, so they made their own Mummy. But I mean, that's a fantastic figure. I'm very, very happy that we do get a Universal version of the Mummy. And then we do have the last two, and I'm particularly excited to have a Peter Cushing figure from Van Helsing. And I am actually extremely happy with the fact that MEGO has the Hammer license. I mean, they've already done, of course, Dracula, and they released not that long ago. They released the second one was they of course released the Reptile not that long ago. And here you go. So you do have a steak, which is a tiny steak, and we're going to put it in his hand. So let's try, and because it's got his fur trim that has been a bit flattened by being in the the package. So let's try and make him look a bit more presentable and a bit less scruffy. But here you go. Here is Professor Van Helsing by Peter Cushing. I mean, that sculpt is really, really good. I mean, it's definitely, you can see Peter Cushing in it, and basically you do have the steak. It's a tiny steak. I would have gone for something bigger probably, but it's such a cool figure. I'm very, very, very happy. I mean, who wouldn't want to own a Peter Cushing figure anyway? I mean, we all love Peter Cushing. And last but not least, we do have Commander Riker. You'll notice that I'm not opening the Riker the same way, and that's because with Star Trek, because I've been a Star Trek collector for years, with Star Trek I actually keep not the bubble but the backing board of all those figures, so that's why I'm being a bit more cautious than I would, because I do keep those for Star Trek. So here you go. Here is Commander Riker in his fantastic uniform. I'm always a bit annoyed if people are always asking question, why are they putting the belt on top of the costume, because it doesn't look right. I agree that it doesn't look right, but I suppose that in the factory it's actually much easier to actually assemble the figures. I mean, even though it's done in a factory, quite a few of those things are still done by hand, so it's probably faster and more efficient to actually put the belts like this, that underneath the outfit. I'm noticing a few things. Of course, it does have the bottom trousers. They are a bit stuck in. That should be better now. And you will notice one thing is that compared to the previous release, this is a proper communicator, whereas the previous one had the screened version. It was printed, so that's much better. I think the communicator is a bit high. It should be slightly lower on the red bit, because I'm a nitpicker, but I think it's a very cool figure. And I'm not entirely sure. I like the way they've done the. I mean, you do recognize Jonathan Frakes here, but I find that the deco is really cool, but it's very low key. I wish it was a bit bolder in color, because you don't see all the details of the eyes, but I think it's really cool. It's a fantastic figure. And that's it for this time. That's all but it's been a long video, but here you go, the new MEGO figure. So it's wave 13 of MEGO, and I'm sure we'll have more MEGO pretty soon. Take care, bye bye.